Hey, it's Daryl at 10-Foot Truck Good Attitudes Services. And the last video I did about my truck having leaks up here in the front seams, I did go ahead and do all these silicone sealant along the seam here and over here. Took a while to cure. But today was a very rainy day. I think maybe yesterday and today. It's finally stopped raining. There's a lot of water on top here in the truck. And I came in here to inspect. And remember that puddle of water that was down here? Well, look at this. Nada. Nothing. No water on the side. No water here. No water along the front here where I used to find. Originally I was finding water drifts along here. I was finding water drifts here and here. And with this amount of rain and water on top of the truck, the sealant's working. So I don't know how long it's going to work because it's not your average, metal to, stuff you put on metal. It's like siding. It's the only stuff I had. It's not really the proper way to seal up your seams on these kind of roofs. But it's all I had, so I had to do something before it started raining because I didn't want any more leaks when I was going to do some delivery. So it worked. Now, of course, when it warms up, I mean, it's wintertime, so this will probably be fine. But, of course, when the summer comes around and the sun hits that, it'll probably dry it out. So I'll have to scrape it back off. And then I'll get the proper, stuff you're supposed to put on these type of roofs. It's their sheet metal roofs. And then of course the corners here, I see where they did this. This is the proper kind of sealant. When I was just using the regular, see how this is really good, solid rubbery. I don't know if it's silicone, but it's good stuff. I don't think the other stuff I use is actually silicone. I can't remember what it was, but it did seal these seams up. I even took the tape off. I had this all taped up because there was so much water coming in here. And I pulled the tape off all this corner, and there's absolutely not a drop of water within the seams or in here. It's not even wet at all. I'm gonna keep looking at it, but sometimes maybe if the wind hits it this direction, it might have, there might be a hole in there. I don't know, but so far so good. There's nothing here. I usually would feel drops of water on the side here, or right in here, and there's nothing in the corners. Not along here. Of course, I taped this, so that might help reinforce it. And then along here, and there's nothing in the corner. Normally, I would see water there, and it's fully dry, and that's all sealed up. So it looks like a good. Looks like it's ready for winter time. Yeah, I mean, for a good, for junk removal, it doesn't matter. But for when you're doing people's new furniture. Stuff that needs to keep dry, you want to always check if you have a box truck, make sure it's sealed up properly, because if you have packages and stuff and you're driving around, and I know because, and I worked at some companies where you'd get these holes in the side of the floors and stuff, and the packages would be all wet. They never really checked for that, but since this is my truck, my responsibility, I'm always checking, because that's the most, besides the motor and the tranny, all that. I check the oil and all that, the running mechanism of the truck. But your bread and butter is the inside of this box. This is where you make your money, and this is where you want to keep this sealed up, from rain, water, anything that's going to damage goods or anything that's in this truck. Now, if you're exclusively junk removal, I wouldn't be so concerned. I mean, if water's coming, who cares? It's all going to the garbage, right? But even in that case, like me, I find a lot of good stuff on junk removal jobs that I wouldn't want to get wet because I might want to keep it. So I think it's always best to have these things sealed up, especially if you live in an area like I do where it rains and snows a lot in the winter. I mean, if you live in Arizona, it wouldn't matter. You're not going to get... Does it ever rain in Arizona? I don't know. Or like if you're in Los Angeles, probably wouldn't matter too much, or California. It's pretty dry there all the time. But here, where I live, and most of the country, it's going to be an issue if you have any kind of leaks on your box. So always make sure to check that. And like I said, sometimes it's just a simple fix, like, you know, some kind of sealant. You get a tube, or sometimes just duct taping the inside. That might work. It didn't work the first time, so once I sealed the outside seam in the inside here, then I could remove the tape and it was fine. So that's about it today. 10-foot truck. Good Attitude Services. Have a good day.